So, you're thinking about a fully funded master's or a PhD in the UK for the 2026 intake? That's an amazing goal, but let's be real, it's not something you can just wing. It takes a serious strategy, and that's exactly what we're going to build right here. A clear, step-by-step roadmap to help you lock in that life-changing admission.
All right, here's our game plan. Think of this as your complete journey. We're going to start with why you need to be thinking about this now. Then we'll move into building your application from the ground up, targeting those big scholarships, and finally navigating all the last steps from the moment you get accepted to the day you arrive. This is how we make that UK dream a reality.
So why on earth are we talking about 2026 already? Well, the UK is an absolute powerhouse for academia, we all know that. But that incredible opportunity comes with a pretty hefty price tag. Our first job, and maybe the biggest one, is figuring out how to get over that financial hurdle.
First things first, let's make sure we're all on the same page. When I say fully funded, I'm not just talking about getting your tuition fees paid. Nope, we are aiming for the absolute gold standard. That means a package that covers your tuition, gives you a stipend to live on, and even handles your travel and visa costs. It means you can actually focus on your research, not on your bank account.
And here's exactly why that funding is so crucial. The numbers don't lie. As an international student, you could be looking at annual fees anywhere from £19,000 to over £35,000. Without a scholarship, that is a massive mountain to climb.
And this slide, this is maybe the most important takeaway of the whole thing. You have to start early. For a 2026 start date, your journey has to begin in the summer of 2025. The main application season kicks off in September 2025 and runs into early 2026. You absolutely need that 12 to 15-month head start to have a real shot.
Okay, so let's jump into Phase 1, building your foundation. This is your mission for this summer through the autumn. It's all about getting your toolkit ready so you can build a seriously competitive application.
Before you even think about writing a personal statement, you've got to do a self-check. Do you meet the baseline? For most programs, you'll need at least an upper second-class bachelor's or a master's with merit or distinction. And for all you PhD hopefuls, proving you're research ready isn't a suggestion, it's essential. Oh, and don't sleep on your English test. Sure, a 6.5 might be the minimum, but aiming for a 7.0 or higher makes you a much, much stronger candidate.
Right now is the time to start gathering these 4 crucial documents. Your academic CV needs to be laser-focused on research. Your personal statement? That's your story. It has to connect your past, your future, and that specific university. And those recommendation letters? Please do not wait until the last minute. Contact your professors now and get strong, detailed references from people who can really speak to your abilities.
Okay, foundation's solid. Now we move into the active part, the application phase. From this autumn, everything is about strategy. You're not just preparing anymore, you're actively going for it. And for those aiming for a PhD, that means it's time to make first contact.
If you're applying for a PhD, this is a make-or-break moment. That first email to a potential supervisor is your foot in the door. Keep it short, keep it professional. Show them you've actually read their work. State your interest clearly and attach your CV. Remember, you're not asking for a place right away, you're starting a professional conversation.
And for PhD candidates, this is the heart and soul of your application, the research proposal. Don't think of it as just an idea. It's the blueprint for your entire PhD. You have to show you know the field, identify a real gap in the research, and then explain exactly how you're going to fill it, and, most importantly, why it even matters. A great proposal proves you're ready to start from day one.
And now for the part I know you've been waiting for, the money, the funding. Think of this next part as your treasure map. Let's break down the biggest and best fully funded scholarships available for 2026.
You know, the really interesting thing here is that each of these scholarships has its own unique personality. Chevening, it's all about finding future leaders who have a clear vision and some real-world experience. Commonwealth is laser-focused on creating an impact back in your home country. Gates Cambridge is looking for academic superstars with a heart, people committed to making the world better. And the UKRI funding is a bit different. It's tied to specific projects. You have to figure out which story best fits your story.
So, you did it. You submitted a killer application and you targeted the right funding. But hold on, the race isn't quite over yet. Now we have to clear the final hurdles, the interview and the visa.
Getting an interview invitation is a huge deal. It means they're serious about you. But what are they actually trying to figure out in that conversation? What do they want to know? Look, they're really testing 3 things. 1, your passion. Be ready to talk about a recent academic paper that genuinely excites you. 2, your fit. Why this university?
Why this program? And 3, your resilience. They need to know you've thought about the challenges ahead. Your goal isn't to have perfect, rehearsed answers. It's to show you have real intellectual curiosity and a clear sense of purpose.
Once you have that beautiful, unconditional offer in hand, the visa process is really just a final checklist. Your university gives you something called a CAS number. That's your golden ticket for the online application. The biggest piece of this puzzle is proving you have the money to support yourself. That is, if your scholarship doesn't cover everything. Just follow these steps one by one, and it should be a pretty smooth ride.
And about that financial proof, it is absolutely non-negotiable. The rules are super specific. For example, if you're going to be studying in London, you have to prove you have access to at least £13,347 for your living costs. The number is a bit lower outside of London, but you have to show that you have the exact amount required.
All right, let's bring it all home. We've gone through the timeline, the documents, the scholarships, and the final steps. Now, let's boil all of this down into a winning strategy by focusing on what you absolutely should do, and just as important, what you should definitely not do. Look, this all comes down to being strategic. On the don't side, don't just spray and pray with 100 generic applications. And please, don't use weak references from professors who barely remember your name. On the do side, apply with purpose. Every single piece of your application, from your personal statement to your choice of referees, needs to tell one consistent, compelling story about why you are the perfect fit.
I love this quote from the UK PhD application guide because it just gets to the heart of it. Yes, this process is tough, it's competitive, but it's not some big mystery. If you have the right information and you make a solid plan, a lot of the stress and the difficulty is totally avoidable.
If you take just one thing away from all of this, let it be this. Success in getting a fully funded place in the UK comes down to 2 things: starting early and preparing strategically. That is the key that unlocks everything else.
So there you have it. You have the roadmap, you have the timeline, and you have the strategy. The journey is demanding for sure, but the reward, a world-class education without that crushing financial burden, is immense. Your 2026 journey really does start today, so the only question left is, are you ready?